6 life-changing habits to harness the power of momentum. Habits. We all have them. Some are good. Probably a few are harmful. We forget to floss every day, but we're doing great at brushing our teeth in the first place. We're drinking plenty of water, but not getting to the gym. We're learning to say no at work, but we're really falling down flat when it comes to networking. Why are habits so quick to push you into affirmative action and then equally fast, if not faster, at derailing you completely? When you're trying to accomplish something new, what we need is momentum. Momentum is the fuel in the engine driving change. Momentum is what keeps you going when you'd rather quit and go home. So now combine habits and momentum. Imagine a series of habits, good ones, designed to help you reach your ultimate goals. Put the momentum behind those habits. Now what do you see? Pretty exciting stuff, huh? Let's put into practice with this series of life-changing habits designed solely to harness the power of momentum. Do things now. When you continuously jump in and get the next task done instead of putting it off, you keep the momentum going without allowing for a drop in speed. On the other hand, procrastination will cause everything to grind to a halt. Break down tasks. To avoid overwhelm and allow momentum to build, break down big tasks into smaller ones, spread out over time. The second momentum flags, look at what you're trying to do, as it might be time to break things down again. Give time value. The biggest mistake people make is to say yes to everything. While this practice might help someone else's momentum, it absolutely kills yours. Start putting a value on your time. Say no to projects that don't support your momentum. Delegate. Some things aren't even worth doing. Momentum is quickly lost when you're stuck in the day-to-day. Why not keep working on what you need to realize your goals? To do this, give simple tasks to others to do. Do this often. Do the work. Shortcuts never fail to slow you down. Rather than fall for an unexpected detour, simply do the work every single day. That's it. You're not going to make progress any other way. Don't get comfortable. Complacency is the end of momentum. The moment things get comfortable, stuff stops happening. Constantly look for new challenges. Above all, take action. Make doing stuff your first and foremost habit. Nothing in your life is going to change if you're standing still. Momentum starts with you. 7 quick things you can do today to build momentum. You're on the way. You have a goal in mind. You're working hard to get there. It might be you're after something personal. It might be you're concentrating solely on your career right now. Whatever it is you want, you're hungry for it. You can't wait to see the culmination of all this hard work. Only everything seems to be moving so slow. What you're lacking is momentum. Momentum is what pushes you into action. It speeds you up as you work the steps and keeps you going. So what do you do when momentum is lagging? Easy. You find ways to build it. Try these quick tips guaranteed to make things happen. Visualize the future. Take some time to consider where you'll be in 6 months. What about next year or the next 5 years? Seeing yourself in the future is really a positive way to keep your momentum going. If you can get excited about the you of tomorrow, you'll find yourself fighting to become that person right now. Get up and do something. It's so easy to grow stagnant. Rather than binge watch the latest Netflix sitcom, how about getting up to create some mischief of your own? Go play a game, take a walk, spend time with friends, do inspirational things to fill you with enthusiasm. Learn stuff. An active mind is a creative mind. The act of learning, even in small increments, such as 10 to 15 minutes a day, will still improve cognitive function. In short, by keeping your mind active, you will pick up momentum. Act when you don't feel like it. If you're waiting for the muse to strike, stop. There will never be a perfect time to work. Momentum means keeping going, even when you don't feel like it. Put your phone away. Giving yourself the gift of uninterrupted time does wonders for momentum. By turning off your phone for an hour, you'll give yourself the freedom to relax, recharge, explore, and forge ahead. Quit. When it comes to momentum, if you find you're slowing down, it might be because what you're doing just doesn't work. In this case, sometimes the smartest thing to do is stop. Don't waste time beating your head against a wall when you could be making progress elsewhere. Do something scary. It's the challenge that pushes you to new limits. When you do what's easy, momentum lags. This is why it's so important to challenge yourself to do the things you never thought you would. Remember, whatever you can find to help keep the momentum going, embrace. If affirmations help, post a bunch of them everywhere. Put on music to get you moving. Create a social life around people who support you wholeheartedly. You're the one in charge of your destiny. It's up to you to act. 8 steps to creating momentum in your life. Has your get up and go got up and went? Momentum is the magic driving us forward. The problem is, sometimes things happen that suck the momentum right out of the day. Illness, family emergency, even just waking up on the wrong side of the bed can all combine to make your day feel unproductive before you even set foot on the floor. How then do you create momentum and get things moving again? Try these 8 steps. Dream big. Before you can even begin, you need to know what you're aiming to accomplish. Here's where you're going to find exactly what to zero in on as you move forward. But if this truly is the case, why would you think small? Believe it or not, you'll achieve much more if you challenge yourself. This is inviting yourself to grow. Stay focused and positive. This should go without saying. Keeping your eye on the prize is the only way to stay motivated when you need the most. Remind yourself you're going to achieve your goal. Try a pep talk if necessary. Why? Negative self-talk will always limit your ability to accomplish your goals. With the right mindset, you can go wherever you decide to go. Look for inspiration. Need a little bit more of a boost? Think about your heroes. Who's been down this path before? Look for inspiring quotes. Put on music that moves you. Read biographies of people you admire. Remind yourself if others have succeeded where you are, you can too. Focus on your habits. What are the behaviors and mannerisms standing in your way? This would be a great time to break some bad habits and maybe start cultivating some good ones. Where to focus? Look for whatever pushes you toward good health, a positive mental attitude, and a day filled with accomplishments. Learn. Speaking of habits, how about picking up some new skills? Taking time out to better your mind will make you sharper and more creative in the day-to-day. Learning is also crucial to positive brain health, enhancing cognition along with your skill set. Take chances. The only thing really holding you back is you. This isn't the time to play it safe. When you see an opportunity, seize it. You'll be surprised at the paths opening up before you. Countdown to bravery. Having a hard time with risk-taking after all? Try this. Do a countdown from 5 and just do it. There's no time for doubt when you're in the midst of making things happen. The cool part? Acting brave tends to lead to honest-to-goodness real courage. Yes, that's you out there doing something amazing. Try again. In the end, if things don't work, it's okay. The main thing is not to lose the momentum you just created. Jump in there and start all over again, taking with you the lessons you've learned along the way. 6 ways to improve productivity by gaining momentum. How do you get things done? Simple. Ask someone who's already busy. It's an old joke, but perhaps holding more truth than you realize. Busy people really do seem to accomplish more than everyone else, and it's not just because they're busy. They simply have something the rest of the world doesn't. Momentum. Momentum is where you find flow. Things come to happen and are happening, one thing after another. Stuff gets done when you have momentum. Here's where you reach your goals. How then can you improve your own productivity using momentum? Drop the negative vibe. We waste more time due to poor self-talk than anything. How can you feel momentum build when you're constantly reminding yourself that you're going to fail? Momentum is built on positive energy. This means making sure of what you're telling yourself. Is it geared toward your success or failure? Start with success. Need a mental boost to get started? Look at your to-do list. Find something you can finish quickly and easily. Do this task first. Why? The little adrenaline rush for having accomplished something will launch your momentum. Quickly doing another 2 to 3 tasks of similar nature will cement that feeling. Try a reward. Need to keep the momentum going? Why not use a reward to bribe yourself when you reach the next milestone? Having something to look forward to gives a little touch of positive energy to what you're doing and makes the journey a little more enjoyable along the way. Build good work habits. Remember hearing about having a solid work ethic? In short, what this phrase is saying is to buckle down and get things done. Momentum requires just this. If you're not digging in and doing something, you're not moving forward. Simple, huh? Push a little. How much work should you do? A little more than you think. Think about a bodybuilder lifting heavier and heavier weights over time. By taking things gradually, he's able to build solid muscle healthily. By pushing yourself to work just a little bit more, you have the same effect on momentum. Don't forget self-care. But don't forget to take a break once in a while. Momentum dies out if you're sick or weak or even just stressed and burned out. Focus on getting outside once in a while. Eat right, exercise, take some you time, including the occasional mental health day. This allows you to come back to work with more energy later, building momentum as soon as you set down to work again. Every one of these tactics will build your productivity and put you in motion. Imagine what you can accomplish with that kind of momentum. 4 steps for regaining momentum after a setback. Everything was going so great. You were moving along, making real progress toward your goals, right up until things blew up in your face. Maybe your great relationship turned out to be not so great after all, or the project at work you'd put your heart and soul into was canceled entirely. Whatever the case, you're feeling it now, especially as you set out to figure out the next move. The problem comes in getting back momentum after a significant setback. Think of a train being derailed. There's a lot of work required to get it back on the tracks before there can be any kind of forward motion again. To continue the analogy, there might be tracks that need to be rebuilt completely, or a complete refurbishment of the interior of the train car involved in the accident. In other words, you might have some work to do in order to regain your momentum after a setback. What can you do? Recognize the absolute normalcy of the situation. Okay, stuff happened. Maybe it was you, maybe it wasn't. Either way, you need to realize nothing is a guaranteed success right from the start. There will be setbacks. This is part of life. It's what you do with them that matters. Figure out the problem and the plan. You're never going to get anywhere if you don't have a good understanding of what went wrong. Take some time to figure out where things derailed. Was the problem internal? External? A bit of both? Whatever it turns out to be, take note of the difficulty and then keep moving. Here's where you start to regain your momentum by refusing to stand still. Go from diagnosis right into the plan to how to fix the problem. What can you do next? Create some action steps while everything is still fresh in your mind. Analyze the outcome. Before you jump into action, though, you need to take a moment to evaluate the plan, especially in light of whatever lessons you might have learned from the setback itself. Is the idea viable? Are there some areas still needing some work? Address the issues now rather than later. Kick it into gear. Finally, once you've worked through the steps, there's only one thing left to do. Act. Momentum can't happen if you're standing still. You have your plan and a whole lot of knowledge you didn't have before. Now's the time to embrace action and give things a go again. Don't let setbacks become stopping points. By working the steps, you'll find it's easier to get started again than you thought possible.